Good, thank you.
How much I weigh?
154.
154?
Yes, sir.
All right, weigh me one more time.
All right, 150.
150? What are they doing?
Tank maybe walks around at 150, maybe. We know he's not walking around at 170. We could maybe say 160, but we know without a shadow of a doubt, 150.
You ready?
Don't stop it on, go.
Put it on that side. Put them on that side. On that side, Kurt.
Curtis, we finally got him in some water, right?
Got him in there.
You know, that weight class, the tank weight class, you have to be concerned about that. So we got to be laser focused and just do what we do.
Gervonta Davis appears noticeably stronger and more defined as he prepares to face Jake Paul. Analyst The Wade Concept expressed frustration, noting that while Tank Davis possesses world-class skill and natural knockout power, his current game plan seems entirely centered on bodywork. Davis is relentlessly targeting Jake's midsection, aiming to drain his stamina and force him to lower his guard. It's a calculated approach, one designed to wear Paul down early and set up a clean shot for a possible knockout as the fight progresses.
See, bro, this is why Tank pisses me off. Look at the talent and the skill and the effortless power and snap and rotation and change of direction and angle cutting that Tank possesses. But look at where all these punches are aimed. Everything to the body. Everything to the body. Chopping, downstairs, chopping. Even his shots upstairs here, that's still a body shot on Jake Paul. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight. Not that it's necessarily going to hurt Jake to the body, he's going to cripple, but it's going to slow him down, or at least that's the idea, is to slow him down, to drop his hands. That is when we could see a potential Tank Davis.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez voiced his disappointment, saying he would rather see Gervonta Tank Davis test himself against elite fighters such as Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. In his view, a world champion like Tank should be chasing legacy fights, not spectacle-driven events. While Benavidez admitted the Jake Paul matchup is a massive payday, he questioned its legitimacy as a true boxing contest, calling it a risky size mismatch where one clean shot from Jake could end the night early.
It would take Tank accepting that fight, but I would tell you my problem about that. Now,
Okay.
you know, I don't want nobody to feel mad.
Okay.
Not about the fight. I just want to see Tank fight Shakur Stevens, Devin Haney, all the fights, man. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's Tank, you know, as a boxer, as a world champion first, he should give us those fights. Because those are the fights I want to see. Not taking anything away from the fight with Jake Paul. I know it's going to be a big fight with big money, but it's not really, it's competitive to the point where it's not really about the skill. It's about the size and the skill. You know what I mean? Because Tank is way smaller than Jake Paul, you know, but we know that if he lands a good shot, it could be over for Tank. But also, in my opinion, Jake Paul is so big that if he lands the right shot, maybe if he lands in the back of the head or in the side of the head, it might be over too. So it's not really about skill.
In addition, David Benavidez commented that the draw between Gervonta Tank Davis and Roach was actually a fair outcome. He praised Roach for showing that he truly belongs among the sport's elite and expressed disappointment that Tank seems unwilling to run it back. According to Benavidez, avoiding the rematch denies Roach the chance to prove his greatness once and for all. He further added that if the referee had ruled Tank's brief fall to his knee as a legitimate knockdown, Roach might have walked away with the victory.
And Roach.
I think it's a good fight. I think Roach showed that he deserves to be in there. And it sucks too, because Roach, to be honest with you, the first fight, I didn't expect Roach to really do much in the first fight. And not only is he's taking another opportunity away from Roach to show his greatness, because he showed that he could, you know, he's on the same level as Gervonta Davis. You know, for the rematch, you know, that was going to be his way to prove himself. But now that's not happening.
Do you think that draw was the right decision, even with the knee not being counted? Or do you think maybe the knee should have been counted as a knockdown?
I think it's the referee's job to make those decisions. You know what I mean? I think if he would have made that call, then yeah, bro.
Emiliano Vargas shared his thoughts, saying that even if the matchup is only an exhibition, He still expects Gervonta Tank Davis to come out on top. Vargas predicted that once Tank gets tagged, his temper will kick in, and he'll shift into knockout mode, trying to finish Jake Paul with real intent. He added that such a reaction could create a wild, highlight reel moment, the kind of knockout that guarantees massive attention and viewership, no matter what the fight's official status may be.
Exhibition.
But I see Gervonta getting hit with something, and he just gets mad, bro, because he can't control his temper sometimes. From what I've seen, you know, and I think he'll try to put it on.
Do you think that ends in a knockout? That would be insane.
It would be insane, bro. It would be insane. People are gonna watch it regardless.
I know. I'm excited for it.
Hey, so am I. I want to be there.
But it was supposed to be what, in Georgia first or something. They said no.
Roach shared that he isn't particularly interested in the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis showdown. While he understands the buzz and entertainment values surrounding the fight, he doesn't see it as a serious boxing contest. During a recent press event, Gervonta mentioned that facing Jake Paul is simply the best move for him right now, even if it means passing on real challenges like Roach. Commentator Brian Custer suggested that Davis's decision probably comes down to money, with reports hinting at a potential $40 million payout, making the choice a financially smart one, even if it lacks sporting significance.
Too much for it. I'm a real boxer. Like, I'm not saying, like, you know what I'm saying? It's for like I said yesterday, it's for shits and giggles. Like, it's cool. It's entertainment. I get it. It's very entertaining, but outside of entertainment, like, I really don't care for it too much.
At the press conference, I asked Gervonta, you know, why Jake Paul? Why not Lamont Roach? And he said, listen, quote, I'm not trying to put too much out there, but I'm doing what's best for me and what's right for me.
Let me ask you a question. How do you assess that?
It sounds like to me that I'm getting, you know, guaranteed at least 40 million, and I'm going to go with...
Looking ahead, Claressa Shields shared her thoughts on the situation, expressing confusion over why Gervonta Davis would even think about retiring after a fight with Jake Paul. She questioned why Tank wouldn't focus on true legacy matchups against elite names like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or even a rematch with Ryan Garcia, fighters he's already proven himself against. According to Shields, a boxer of Tank's caliber should be chasing greatness, not entertainment bouts, especially when so many top contenders have called him out.
The thing is that when two fighters want to fight, they fight. So it's always like, I don't care what nobody say. Gervonta got skills out this world. He's a scary dude. He's scary. Ain't no way he said he's supposed to come back and get Shakur, Devin, Ryan, Teofimo, whoop all these. Now he like, I'm about to retire after I fight Jake. No, I don't let nobody talk about me like that. The way that Shakur disrespect him, the way that Devin talked to him, the way that Ryan, he already knocked out Ryan. The way that these dudes be talking, he supposed to come back and get them. He the man, right? He who everybody say is the best. I ain't leaving no food on the table. When I'm done boxing, I'm whooping all these.
Additionally, Claressa Shields shared her opinion on who could realistically challenge Gervonta Tank Davis. She suggested that Shakur Stevenson stands out as the fighter most capable of defeating him due to his technical precision and ring IQ. Shields also acknowledged that Devin Haney has the tools to outbox Tank, though she cautioned that Davis's explosive power makes that matchup extremely risky for Haney. Lastly, she pointed to Terrence Crawford as another world-class talent with both the ability and the mindset to take on a challenge of that magnitude.
Who you think could be Gervonta?
I think Shakur Gervonta Davis, and I used to think Devin. I think Devin can outbox Tank, but once Tank catch him, it's gonna be a long night. But only person I think that can beat him is Shakur. I'm trying to think is anybody else. I'm not gonna say I think that Teofimo can beat him. I think that Teofimo is gifted, but I don't think he can beat Tank. As far as in the men, it's only a few men who I know will fight anybody, and people not gonna like this. But that's Shakur, and that is Terrence Crawford.
Hold on.
I don't know about the rest of these men.
I'll give you one more.
Who?
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney fight anybody. He go to their country.
Algieri didn't mince words when sharing his thoughts on Gervonta Davis. He claimed that Tank has mentally checked out of boxing long before his most recent fight, pointing to past interviews where Davis mentioned wanting to retire and focus more on his family life. Algieri suggested that the controversial draw in his last bout was the final proof of that decline in motivation. According to him, Tank is now steering clear of real challenges, and the upcoming Jake Paul fight appears to be a final big money move, a way to cash out before walking away from the sport.
Now, prior to the Roach fight, I thought this was all going to be in the works, where he was supposed to beat the 16-1 Roach and then go on to fight Jake Paul and then call it a career, because I think the people around him understood there wasn't much left in the tank for him in terms of his want or his desire to be here. He did an interview with Dan Canobio about 18 months ago where he was like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left of boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but like, I don't want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing's been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight, I'm like, there's no way we see that rematch. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul now. It's a cash.
Roy Jones Jr. expressed genuine excitement about the exhibition between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul, saying it actually makes sense from an entertainment standpoint. He explained that in a real fight, Tank has the skill and power to knock Jake Paul out. But the danger goes both ways. Jake's size and strength give him the ability to end the fight with one clean shot as well. Jones summed it up by saying that a true contest between the two would be thrilling, unpredictable, and risky for both men.
Exhibitions that make sense. Now, to Tank's credit, I'm interested in the Tank Jake Paul exhibition because I know for a fact that if they do it for real, Tank is capable, although he's small, he's capable of knocking Jake Paul out. Like Jake Paul probably capable of knocking him out because he's so much bigger.
So you believe that?
I believe that.
No doubt about it.
Without a question, if they fight for real. If they don't, if they say, no, well, we're going to take care of Jake, just want him to go through and learn more, then he might not knock him out. You understand me? But if they do it for real, Tank is highly capable of taking Jake.
Andre Ward pointed out that Gervonta Davis doesn't seem interested in chasing the title of the greatest boxer of all time in the traditional sense. Instead, he believes Davis is more focused on financial success and long-term brand building, a strategy clearly inspired by Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. Ward noted that while this approach may shift the focus away from purely in-ring accomplishments, it shows that Davis is prioritizing business growth and securing his financial future through ticket sales and blockbuster pay-per-view events.
Remember, the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy. I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future.
Calvin Ford openly acknowledged that jumping from the lightweight division at 135 pounds to facing a heavyweight-sized opponent is a massive hurdle. Still, he has complete faith in Gervonta Tank Davis, saying his fighter represents the belief that nothing is impossible. Ford insists that Tank's power is on another level, the kind that can shock Jake Paul and prove that raw punching force isn't limited by size. According to Ford, when Tank lands clean, he hits with the kind of impact that can humble even the biggest men in the ring.
The differences are very big, 135 to a heavyweight. How does Tank adapt to that weight?
You gotta figure it out. That's why I'm so fabulous right now, you know, because this is a this is a tall glass of water we gotta drink. But I believe in my youngin', always believe in all my youngins, you know what I'm saying? But him, he's our forefront youngin', you know what I'm saying? It gives everybody else hope. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't nothing that you can't do if you don't put your mind to it.
Absolutely. You think Jake is going to be surprised when he feels that punching power from Tank Davis, from a smaller man, and you don't hit like a heavyweight?
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody talks about it's scripted, it's this, it's that. I think Tank hit him with some shit. The man gonna come out of him. You know what I'm saying? And I know how that is. He hit me with some shit. I'm gonna hit you with some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that weight class, the Tank weight class, you have to be concerned about that. So we gotta be laser focused and just do what we do.
Moving to Gailon, Love's perspective. He believes the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis won't last the full distance. In his view, this fight could end at any moment if either man lands clean. Love praised Davis for his exceptional ring intelligence, explaining that while Tank doesn't throw a high volume of punches, his accuracy and timing make him extremely dangerous. That precision, combined with his knockout power, could ultimately give Davis the upper hand when it matters most.